We are 11 days out from East First West number 5.
You're feeling real strong.
Feeling real strong. That's good to hear. Yeah. Sarah Latona, good to see you in the chat. Yeah, says Sarah. Always killing it. Other Latona crew.
Yeah.
Did I hear you say you were doing something?
Yeah, on it'll be 1:45 Australian time on Wednesday.
You'll be on the morning, BJ?
Yep.
Very good. Nice stuff. But good to see everyone in here. We're here for up to about an hour. If you guys want to talk, we're here to chat. Lots going on. Obviously, I'm on a plane, man, in 6 days. 6 days.
6 days. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Coming in peak. You're feeling real good, man. Like it's really interesting to see. Like I've never experienced a peak that I've written on the other end. Right, so Ryan's just going up and up and up and up and up. Like I'm cruising right now, and it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like it's fairly.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because like for those who don't know, Lachlan Adair and Sebastian Oro are writing and directing the program that I am currently walking. The strength system arm wrestling, as it is known, and I've got to say, from my perspective, it's really fucking cool because I feel amazing. Numbers are flying up everywhere, but you on the table, you're feeling it because you're not peaking for an event.
Yeah, I'm not peaking at the moment. It's just, I'm trying a whole bunch of new exercises. It's all hypertrophy and, muscles are sore.
You keep talking, I'm going to fix the echo.
Yeah, muscles are definitely sore, so I'm, not taking anything away. It's just, it's super nice to have, to see Ryan coming up and up and up, and seeing the effects of it. And it makes me, trust the next time that I peak, it's going to be awesome.
Hopefully I fixed the echo for you guys. Sorry, I had the audio on the mic, on the camera, all sorts of stuff. Audio, hate it. But anyway, hey, we got a super chat in. I saw one from Ryan's Exposed Cable. Brother, it's still there. There it is. The exposed cable is still there. I would hate to let you down and tuck that in.
It's a whole YouTube channel.
But thank you for the super chat. Look, I don't know Ryan's Exposed Cable. Do you want me to tuck it in or do you want it to stay? I don't know. But yeah, Constant Pated Devon says 12 days. Yeah, well, for me, it's kind of 11. We're ahead. We're a day ahead down here.
Yeah, that's true.
Thanks for the tip on the echo, guys. Jeremy Coleman, we hopefully got it sorted now. Yeah, Sarah Latona too. Thank you very much. Official Arm Wrestling TV. Hey, how are you guys, man?
Who's that?
It's the official, unofficial Arm Wrestling television. I don't know.
Is it Gary?
No, I don't think it's Gary. Maybe it is Gary.
He wouldn't be like, hi.
He wouldn't be saying that. Lachlan, what happened to your Instagram?
Oh, ages ago, man. That was like, you might have got a text from me. It got hacked back in June. It's all good now. It's been good for a while. But yeah, if you got a message from me saying, hey, did you get my text? That ain't me. Well, that was months ago.
Are we out of focus too?
No.
I feel like the camera situation's annoying. Anyway, I apologize. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah.
Let me just sort some stuff out.
You know what? It's on the table and you keep bobbling it around like a dork.
I know it. Doing all sorts of
Anyway, Ryan is legitimately the strongest he's ever been. And it's not like a matter of our favorite monster who says 2.0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sarah, sup you two. Nice to see you both. You too. I'll see you tomorrow, darling. And we'll have mad chats with Jason, Brandon, and yourself.
Thank you, Sarah, for that super chat there, $1.99 US. Yeah.
That's like $40.
With what's going on at the moment, the Aussie dollar is not doing so well. All right. Yeah, Lachlan, there's Benji Mac giving you some love. There's Lachlan's YouTube channel.
Is it?
I don't know, maybe it is.
I don't think it is.
Lachlan Adair 1989.
I mean, that's when I am born, but I don't know if that's my YouTube handle. I have no idea. I just shared a link. I don't look at it.
We got some love from New Zealand. Thank you, Fatu Nimaroda, all the way from Wellington, New Zealand. All the best for an upcoming match. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to getting over there. Hey, Blue Beefcake. Yeah, would you say I'm...
You've got pecs.
I got pecs now.
First time I've seen that ever.
One of the to talk about my bench pressing at the moment. I have to say I'm really enjoying it. Like it's fun discovering just other strength disciplines for what they're meant to be. Because I've been an arm wrestler for 10 years and everything else has just been whatever.
Interesting topic, because there was a someone comment on your Facebook, your Instagram yesterday of like bench doesn't carry over to arm wrestling, but it does
when you've got a hand and wrist already.
If you already come with bench press technique and really good bench strength, that don't mean shit. But if you come with everything that an arm wrestler comes with and is well established for quite some time, then you add the bench press, and it starts to make a difference.
And that's the thing, because I have the hand and wrist, I just never had the engine behind it.
Yeah,
to really go. Where now I feel like I'm feeling the engine out. It's like, oh,
yeah, makes a big difference.
But
Lachlan only top rolling now that he's on Hermes training. Yeah, pretty much like the pull. Yeah, that you'll upload soon. You'll see a little bit of inside pulling, but that's more just because your opponent coming up is definitely an inside puller. So yeah, generally speaking, I'm all outside.
Ryan's Exposed Cable says, how is my cycle going? Sustainable pancakes this time. You know, believe it or not, I'm not on gear right now. I'm not on steroids right now. I'll say it to the camera right now. I'm not. So it brings me back to where I was in respect to the bench press. So I was talking with Lachlan, I was talking with Sebastian earlier today. I'm still in that discovering how to do it properly phase. Like I bench pressed 130 the other day, or yesterday, and when I was on 120, like the 130 felt better than the 120 because a little technique I got yesterday. I was like, I've been remembering, push your heels into the ground. I never got why. Yesterday, for the first time, I felt the reason why, and I actually got the benefit of it. And I was like, okay. All of a sudden, it added 10 kilos, and I felt secure. And I'm like, wow. So I still feel like I'm discovering how to maximize efficiencies of my body, and I don't even think I'm at my true starting number yet.
No, I think in a couple of months you're gonna find, and I don't want to put this on you as like something that's gonna plateau you, but I think 150 is probably a reasonable number to expect from you in the next couple of months. I feel like once you hit that, we'll have to totally.
Then we have to go to
hypertrophy, start building some more muscle again, and pop that all up.
I agree. I feel exactly the same. That I'm still working out. I'm still refining movements. I'm still going to get stupid, weird, big gains, and then I'm going to go. Okay, this is actually how strong you are with good technique. Now comes the slog that everyone else is.
Yeah, you know, like if I can add 2.5 kilos to my deadlift, you know, that might take me a year.
Yeah, we're the people who are saying oh, it's all gear. They'll quote that I could. They'll quote that 5 weeks ago my max was 70, and now it's 130.
It's newbie games, people. There was a message up from the front. There's Jamil Jablonski, I think that is the guy from Poland. We saw him in Poland.
What was it?
This guy, Golden Dragon. Right. If that's who I think it is, he's a tall guy, heavyweight from Poland. And so we're extremely obnoxious.
Did he?
He was kept on like hanging around and like standing, like he was like standing in, he would come up to me, walk around me and stand 10 centimeters in front of me. I'm like, I'm going to headbutt this dude.
Oh, well, good to see you here in the chat.
Yeah, sup, man. I hope you've learned some personal space.
Oh, what else we got going on? Might not be him. Aussie arm wrestlers there. Good old Jake Ward. Love you, legends. Got to go. He's on the run. Good to see you, though, mate.
See you later.
Busy life there. He's got a new little daughter and all sorts of stuff going on. A lot of people have. Everyone's quick to tell me what their bench press is, and honestly, like, what is like? I don't know what numbers are. Like, I see Ray benching over 200 kilos, and I see, like, what is?
It's one of those things. So powerlifting is made of bench press, squat, and deadlift. Now, people tend to gravitate due to the way that they're built towards usually one of those lifts, and then we're kind of playing catch up in other those things. So Sebastian Oreb, fantastic bencher, but I do believe he's a superior squatter, and his deadlift is at a level that's acceptable. You know, it's still a big deal. I think he pulled. Oh, I don't want to misquote it.
All I know is he's squat 400.
Yeah, exactly. And I know his squat is a fair bit lower than that. It's kind of mid 300s, right? and his bench is 250, and that was done at 110 kilo body weight. Now, Sebastian, would you say that he's probably like 5'10"?
Maybe 5'11" at best. 5'10", 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah. So like he's not tall. He's certainly not short. Where Raymond's, as we know, like I'm not hanging shit on him. He's quite short. He has a very wide grip on the bench press, and he has a very proficient arch and upper back tightness. So his range of motion is somewhat reduced. So he is very much built for bench. So numbers like, look, I've seen like Big Tom Haviland do 270, and he's narrow grip with like gravitational pull, sort of like the biggest range of motion you've ever seen in your life.
Hey, there's a question. Are you guys going to be selling the strength system arm wrestling program that you are currently running, Ryan? Look, the answer is where we want to make sure we have it all dialed in before we get to any point like that. Now, of course, it's dialed in. Don't get me wrong, but we want to make sure we know what exactly. We can talk about historical data. We can talk about everything. So look, it'll likely come. Sebastian, Lachlan, myself, we're working together closely on this. It'll come.
And like the cool thing, this is the first time I've been in, and I'm not sure about Sebastian, but it's certainly the first time that I've worked closely with another coach in this regard. So, we've kind of got the arm wrestling world meets the powerlifting world, and though I've got experience in that, it's still leaving Sebastian and his expertise totally as an overall looking at things, and obviously the powerlifting stuff. So it's going to be kind of, I guess my work is going to be quality controlled as well in that sense. Not that it needs it.
It's interesting watching you two guys work together. So from this like the student perspective, I upload my lifts, the key lifts. I chuck into the group that we're all in, and Lachlan answers most of the questions, and then Sebastian is like, don't forget about this factor as well, Ryan. You need to make sure you're doing that. So it's interesting watching you guys. I can see you guys soaking up each other's knowledge. Sebastian's very interested in arm wrestling.
Yeah,
he really is. Yeah. Like he's almost adding some of the arm wrestling movements to his routine.
It's been really cool. And like, would it work with anyone other than Sebastian? I don't think so, because like both of us have gone into it. He certainly doesn't have an ego. I certainly don't have one going into it. So I'm so open and willing to learn what he has to say. So any suggestion he's made, I'm like, yep. Like that totally makes sense. Cool. And then any suggestion I've made, he's been on board with it. He's just kind of added. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. So that's something that we're, like I said, we're working on in answering that question again. Yeah, look, it will come to a point where we are happy for it to be out there, because when we release it, we want it to be a watertight thing that we're proud of as well, that we know is correct. So we're working it all out. We want to combine these two worlds of arm wrestling and all of the knowledge that Sebastian brings from the powerlifting world as well, and make it well.
Camille from
I don't think it was me.
Okay, that's good.
Jamil, I'm sure Gold Dragon Camille's a lovely dude.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the other guy's nice too. He was just being competitive, and it was weird.
Okay. Hey, we got a super chat from Donnie Anderson. Thank you very much. $2. He asked the question: what is going to be the biggest upset or match of the day at East vs West in your?
Oh God, there's so many matches. That's the thing, like with all these cars, like who do we talk about?
So biggest upset and match of the day. Like usually the biggest upset does become match of the day. They often go hand in hand, don't they?
That's true. Like, I don't think the
biggest upset's me versus Urab. That's clearly the biggest upset.
I think that is.
That's the just for how much people don't think that I'm in the match. It has to be the biggest upset if I win.
Yeah, I think that. Because who else? Like, whoever wins the Devon or the
that could be
match.
That could be match of the day.
Could be match of the day, but it's not going to be an upset. Because either one of them will win, and there'd be equal amount of people going, I'm not surprised.
That's true. There's not many other matches. I don't think another match has the disparity that mine does.
On paper,
on paper.
Yeah, and in people's opinion.
Yeah. So match of the day in terms of which one are you looking forward to?
I mean, yours, obviously, but there have been so involved with it too. But I forget who else is on the card.
Hermes and
Dave. Of course. So I think that has the potential to be a bit of an upset. I don't think people can bet on that one. I don't think people have strong opinions about it either or. Like it's difficult for me. Like Hermes now coaching me, but being such good friends with Dave. For that one, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy some awesome arm wrestling.
I know what it's like to be. I'm in an awkward position where I'm on Team West. I'm good friends with Justin Bishop, but I'm the corner man for Mindogger. So.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
But I love them both, but Mindog has helped me so much at Arm Wars, and I asked him to help me again, and he asked if I'd return the favor. And I'm like, yeah, man, of course.
Yeah, well, it's more recent, right? Like,
so I'm going to be against Justin in that match. But
when's the last time you saw Justin in person?
Like 2018 or something. I think.
When did you have your match? That was
2017.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And you saw him.
I saw him when we did when I went over with Travis.
Yeah.
Hey, JD, Killen 86. Thank you, man, for the super chat. $2 Canadian just says, whoa, how goes, guys? Man, we're good. We're real good. Yeah. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Ryan's Exposed Cable is back with $5 US. I was just taking the piss. Newbie gains for life. When you plateau, will you pancake responsibly? Watch your markers. Have you thought about your limit? That's a good question. I like that question. I
think it's going to take a good amount of time for you to cap out on the natty status because this is also brand new. Yeah, so
there's a long way. There's no rush in this. Now, my general policy, my honest thing is, look, I guess my wife doesn't say this, but we're trying for a baby. We'd like to have a child.
Yeah.
And that's something that is very important. So there's zero rush or anticipation to get back on gear or anything like that. And long term, I've experienced gear, and I've also experienced being off gear for almost a year, and it's you can feel like I've heard people say analogies of like you're just burning your candle brighter and faster, and it feels that way when you're on gear. Everything does happen faster, but you can feel something in your body that you like. There's a little extra labor on your body that you don't.
Yeah, when you're on a lot of it, like when you're boosting. And when you get off, you're like, oh. But and then learning, honestly, I think the best way to go, like listening to Larry, and he did a podcast recently with Geopolitical. It was more so Geopolitical talking and Larry just affirming. But the key takeaway from that was like a generous TRT long term is going to yield better results. You might not get the peaks, like even guys like Vigorous Steve.
Yeah, I mean, especially arm wrestling is a very cumulative sport. I mean, as are all strength sports, but I feel like the longevity of the sport itself is it's far longer than any other strength sport.
Yeah, and we also compete a lot more often than say powerlifters and bodybuilders. So you don't see a powerlifter competing 4 or 5 times a year. Where arm wrestlers routinely compete more than that. I'd competed 5 times this year. It's like a lot. But I am of the belief that a good generous TRT is probably, for the upper echelons, the way to go. Really big matches, of course, guys are going to boost up. But Vigorous Steve recently did a post on his Instagram talking about Trenbolone. The Trenbolone is something I've never taken. It scares the shit out of me. That certainly feels like something.
It made me feel really hot.
Yeah,
sweating at night. Like
they call it divorce in a vial. Like it's really bad for a lot of dudes. It has lots of implications about heart implications and all sorts of stuff, and it scares the living shit out of me. But what he said was like, young bodybuilders, it's mandatory. Like you want that hard look, but as you get older, a lot of the older bodybuilders they don't touch it at all. Or if they do, it's like the minimum effective dose of 100 to 150 milligrams of it per week. But no, fuck trend. Let's just say that outright. And so I think that's burning the candle.
I do think that there will be an extended season of me being off gear, and by extended I mean a number of years. And then I very much anticipate the low dose or the standard TRT.
Yeah,
I look at guys in their 50s that are not on TRT, and I think that looks sad.
Yeah, looks like sadness.
And then I look at Ron Barth, and then I look at just guys that have just still got it. I'm like, that's what I will be like in my 50s. I will not be withering away and soft.
And TRT is one of you have to check your numbers. It could be 100. You could be a hyper responder, and 100 milligrams a week is going to make you feel on fire. I got a guy I train. He's 63. He's on 100 milligrams, and his levels in the American terms are like 800 or something like that, which is equivalent to us being roughly 27, 28. Not years old.
Yep.
What we use, we go from our ranges from 10 to 36. So I'm all for being at the top of the reference, like natural reference range, and I think staying there for an extended period of time. Like you've got guys who have been doing this for decades, and they're 80 years old and they've been taking it for 20 years and they're still good. And they're still like jacked 80-year-olds, right? Yeah. So I honestly believe if you're an athlete and you're getting on TRT, it's the way to go.
Yep. And of course, just we're not medical experts.
No, this is not advice. This is
that
just
disclaimer.
This is bro science.
Hey, what was I going to say? Hey, someone here, Lazy Hook, he's a fan. He says, Lachlan has coached me up until recent injury, forced me to take a long break. His program is awesome. I can definitely recommend hitting him up.
Lazy Hook? Who's that?
Lazy Hook. One of your students.
He said his name. I would know who it is. Lazy Hook. Tell me who you are.
Good stuff. But yeah, look, this is the first season of my life where I've actually followed a program for arm wrestling, and like this, and it's different. It's different. All right, well, we've got a few questions here. I think if Lachlan or Ryan get their hands on that Russian government-made pancakes, he can make gains like the East guys.
There's another kind. Like I know he's just joking, but you know what? Those dudes have been arm wrestling since they were like kids. That's the difference. Like how old's Irakli? 25.
Yeah.
They've been arm wrestling for 10 years.
Yeah.
How old's Morozov? Same age.
Same thing.
They've been arm wrestling for 10 years. You know, these guys are early.
They're a generation ahead of us.
Yeah.
Like give us 15 years, and we'll have the equivalent.
Yeah,
like
but you imagine
our sons will be that age equivalent.
Oh, our sons are going to be ridiculous. Yeah. It's going to make me look like a complete weakling. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like these guys are. Imagine going through starting puberty, arm wrestling. Can you imagine what your tendons like and the growth hormone that you're getting at that age? My God.
Hey, Tony Tomlinson's got a $5 US super chat. He says, hello, gents. Just had Corey Skinner come by. Arm Fest here in Anaheim. Strong dude. Corey Skinner. He's a Kiwi boy. Corey Skinner.
He's been a little bit under the radar for a bit, but he's always a strong lad.
Tony Tomlinson, of course, one of the giants. Giant man. You know Tony Tomlinson. Met Tony Tomlinson, I think. When we were in Arizona, he pulled Travis. He's big, super heavyweight dude, left-hand dominant guy.
Oh, I came second to Travis. So did I beat him?
Was Tony? Were you there? I'm sure Tony was. Tony Tomlinson is a giant dude.
I don't remember pulling.
Maybe it was the year before.
Yeah.
Year before.
Because Travis made when I pulled, I was second left.
Okay, so you might not have met Tony, but Tony's a strong dude. But yeah, Corey, good to see that he's getting out and about. Thanks, Tony, for letting us know in the super chat, man. Noah Salazar with a $5 super chat. Hey Ryan, I'm a long-term fan and wish you the best. If the match with Zurab is balanced, do you think the shape will be similar to your match with Alan? Yes. In terms of I know that my best lane is that lane. That lane that I used against Alan Guerra, the lane that I used against Bogdan Stoica, the lane that I used against Khaled. That's my lane. And look, I'm not even trying to hide it. That's I'll tell you guys exactly my game plan. Yes, that will be the shape. I'll look to crack his wrist. From there, I'll look to win center. And look, I'll be looking for a decisive flash pin. If I can get it, I will. If I can't get it, it'll look just like the match with Alan Guerra. I'll be seeking getting my shoulder behind it, ending it with a press. If I can't win center and it becomes about defensive endurance, I'm prepared to King's move. If he is strong enough to break everything down, I won't just concede then. I will transition to a last-ditch King's move because I need to put bullets into that hand and wrist if he's that strong at center.
Get him to come under.
Turn that man palm up. He can't pin me. You can't pin with your thumb face up. So.
Just anatomically, it's just the shit way to go.
Yeah. But that will be the shape that we got. This one?
No, this one.
No,
that's growth hormone, man, and a lot of stuff that hits your kidneys. It's just that's another one of those comments made by someone who's natty that is quite ignorant. You've never taken it. It's not your fault. It's not a criticism, but yeah, it's not it.
There was a question I saw.
I saw one about Prudnik.
People saying Prudnik would be an upset over Devon.
No, I don't think so.
This one here, Benji Mack. I want to answer this question. Who are you going after when you beat Zurab Bryant? Look, if all goes well, on the stage there in Istanbul, I will probably say, "Where you at, Chance Shaw?" If that makes sense to me. There is a storyline there of obviously I beat him in 2018. Was that long ago? No, not that long ago. 2020. 2020, just before Corona.
Just before COVID, yeah. You went to Zloty, you had Zloty, and then you went to
2020. 2020, I bet Chance. And then obviously Chance has done quite well since. But if that circle comes back around, it makes sense to me. Makes sense. What do we guys? I'm not sure if there are any mods, but I sent a super chat and got charged, but it hasn't shown. Oh yeah, Noah, we did get you one. Noah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Is this the one, Noah?
Yeah.
It came through. It came through. We got you. We got you, man. All good. Hey, what else we got going on? Let's have a look.
The match reserve is bonus. Oh yeah, you just because we're just scrolling around the comment section.
Let's have a look. J.R. Williams, I don't even know. Let's have a look. At the 5-year plan, man, can you expatiate? That'll work.
Let's contextualize.
About year 3 and will your current trajectory prepare you to victory over Devon in 2024?
Because he's remembering your match when you were 40.
Man, I have not forgotten. Trust me, I've not forgotten the 40 versus 50 match. I intend to make sure that happens.
Yeah,
it will happen.
Yeah,
Devon's coming back down.
Are you gonna white cap it?
Oh well, it's 110 sounds good.
Yeah,
110.
Yeah.
110 in bloody 3 years time, 3 years time. I think it's a match.
I think it's because if you take your time putting on the weight, then I think it'll be all good.
And I don't know how long. Like you go through seasons of arm wrestling. I'd say first 4 years for me was skills. Second 4 years was conditioning. Now I'm in the strength. I feel like that's like if I'm in a really broad brush do it. I don't think I think my skills are adequate. Conditioning's adequate. It's just strength now. Will I have enough strength? If Devon's under 110 and he's getting old and worn out, and like the thing is, all we can be certain is that the gap is getting closer and smaller. That's all we know. But it'll be fun. The win. I don't care if I get my ass kicked. It'll be a hell of a lot of fun.
No, this one, yes, I've been dead hanging, not recently. It feels really good on the shoulders and neck. So thanks for that. In terms of the hands, I don't know. I can hold myself up for a long ass time. So my shoulders kind of give out and dead hang before my hands do. So
dead hangs. I often do that as part of my warm up these days.
Yeah,
just a couple of dead hangs in. For me, my warm ups are all external rotation. Ryan, have you seen Ronnie Coleman?
That's not pancakes, man. That is terrible back surgeries. That is, he's had spinal surgery done by a bunch of people. That's why he's on crutches. It's not gear, man. Keep coming with those ignorant comments. It's funny. All right, I believe Larry said Trent was the absolute worst in the pancakes he was taking. All right, yeah, I believe it.
Mike O'Hearn. What do you think about Mike O'Hearn?
Huh?
Mike O'Hearn from Rinzo. He's the best looking natty on earth.
How old is he? He's 50.
He's 58 or something. And he looks like a Greek god still.
I'm natty, bro. God. What's going on?
Lots of bro science going on in here. Exposed cable. Yep.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got a super chat here from Mega Mike. On your Mega Mike.
Oh, hey, man.
99 USL. Sup, guys? Let's get a match. Lachlan, you're a beast. Have you met Mega Mike?
No, I've not met. I've heard lots of good things about
Mario pulled with Mega Mike, I believe.
How'd you go?
I think Mega Mike hurt himself in the match, but they were solid. I think Mario took it because of the injury in the end, but was like 1-1 or something like that, and then an injury happened. So I don't know. I don't
know which arm is dominant with him. I don't know. I heard his left is beastly, but I don't know. Man. Yeah, I'm keen. It's just a matter of someone interested enough to pay for it.
It's just it's a long way.
Yeah, long way. It's a long way. It's expensive. So
Oh, is this? Isn't stem cells just a proverbial band-aid of sorts that requires continued maintenance over time? LNC, for instance, has had copious stem cell treatments and is still hobbled. So Ronnie Coleman, like I said, has had a couple of botched spinal surgeries. He's got a whole bunch of discs that are fused. He's got a cage around his spine as well.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
He's got a cage around it. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why he's hobbled. The stem cells, look, they can only do so much, right? So stem cells is something that I don't understand it exactly, but from what I understand, we already create them. There are ways that we can stimulate them through fasting and what have you. Fast for 7 days, study, and then growth hormone test, and stem cell production goes through the roof, which is obviously along with offers you excellent benefit. But no, it's not something that requires continued maintenance. It's when they do their job enough to fix the thing, that's it. It's fixed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Autophagy. What is that?
It's like the effects of all your internal organs upregulating and all sorts of good stuff.
Okay.
Tony Tomlinson, I took second to Travis.
Looks like must have been a different year. You
Yeah,
guys.
it's different because I definitely got second.
Yeah, year before Tony, but
coming second to a big Travis is totally fine. Coming back to the Vikings. Yeah,
Copper Seal says, "Love your show, fellas. When you guys coming back to the Vikings for a session?" No, a Vikings club.
It's on the north side, and it
sounds like we've been there. Is that? Oh, is
that's Torben's.
Is that Torben's session? Is this Torben?
No, I don't know.
Torben does hide under strange names. G'day, Torben, if it's you, mate.
I'd love to come down. It's just a long way to go.
With Torben, I popped like a ligament. Like I did a partial tear. It was like 10 months ago or whatever. I let the rope out too far, and I was just sitting there.
No, that wasn't that Sam.
No, this was Torben. This was maybe a year ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought that was Sam Burnett.
No, I let it right out, and then I just went to reel it back in, and too much rotation from out there.
Yeah.
Are you cricket fans? King Hoddle. Yeah. I was a heavy cricket fan when I was a kid. Less so these days.
Yeah, same with me. I stopped playing cricket when I chopped my index finger off, and I couldn't bowl anymore because it was all wonky.
Performance enhancing pancakes. There's Uncle John and Jake are also live. They said you should use the javelin on Zurab. There we go. I didn't know they were live. Sorry, fellas, if we're competing on the lives. But guys, if you are here and you're not subscribed to Uncle John or Jake and the Aussie Arm Wrestler, please do so and say good day. Performance enhancing pancakes. If you're heading back over there at any point in time, say good day for us. Drew24, gotta say a big shout out to this man. Live, he is relentless in his support for all the channels in the arm wrestling world. He's always there commentating. So thank you very much, man. Benji Mac giving some love to Mega Mike. There's his channel if you want to go and check out his stuff. We got a super chat in from Copper Seal, $5 Australian. Definitely could be Torben. Aussie.
Yeah.
Hey fellas, love the content. When are you guys coming to the Vikings procession?
I don't know. Torben's really cheap though, so
so he put his comment in before, and he thought these bastards aren't even saying it, so he super chatted it to us, and then turns out we got it twice. But anyway, Torben, much love for you, brother, and the Vikings will be up soon.
Looking criticism.
Here we go. What do we got?
Yeah, it's from gear, but you're broad stroking it. It's from specific types of gear. You can definitely do it without causing your kidneys to fail. When you're taking, I think he was on like 20 IU of growth hormone a day, that's gonna grow all your organs. So it's a culmination of severe abuse.
Yeah.
Benji
Mac. Yep. What is your schedule over the next 3 to 6?
I haven't got one. I've been quite vocal about needing an off season. All through the year, I just feel like I've been recovering and competing. So I'm in a training phase right now. I'm sure when Hermes says that I'm ready, Engen will, if it's in his interest to do so, of course.
We've got a super chat in from Elton Ledbetter, $4.99 US. Thank you, brother. He says, "What do you think of the AW event that just happened, and would you consider attending one in the future?" The AW, that's at Arm Wrestling Uncensored. Elton, I've got to be real honest with you, man. I have no idea what the event was.
Isn't that it's a UK one, right? That's
well, the
Paul
AWs. No, I don't think the Paul Maiden one. That's Arm Gods. Or something
Oh
like that.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
The AWU, Elton, to be honest, man, I have very, very, very rarely jumped on my personal Facebook account in the last 4 months. I have a Facebook page. I'm on that. I only log into my personal account, and subsequently I only see AW when I'm on my personal account. And I'm only on there when my wife has tagged me in a photo and says, "Brian, did you see my picture I tagged you in?" That's the only time I do it. So,
Josh Barker, thoughts on Hapthor
and Brian Shaw coming to arm wrestling. That's really interesting for a number of reasons. Look, there's a million talking points in this. Like I've saw conversations with people saying Hafthor and Brian should have a super match, and I was like, no, they shouldn't, because that's the formula for an injury is super strong novices with pride on the line. I think it's
Brian Shaw's stronger.
I think Brian Shaw looks like he's ready to arm wrestle.
Hapthor has always had grip. Grip has never been his forte, where Brian Shaw picks up 45-pound plates from the center and just...
Brian's forearms and hand, they look like they're built for wrist control.
Yeah, man. It's so big. It'd be the worst.
Thor doesn't look like that. Thor looks like a top roller. When I watched him pull with Mike in that video the other day, I saw it. His style was top roll. It was not anything else, where I think... But that aside, I think it's awesome that these guys are noticing arm wrestling enough. They're like, actually, no, I'm gonna go and try this. And Brian's obviously got Derek Smith close by, Hafthor Bjornsson. Now Michael Todd's sending him a table, and he wants to put a table in his gym. So these sorts of guys becoming interested in the sport is some of the most significantly positive, impactful things that we can have. Like Larry is a great example. Look what Larry's done inside of 2 years for our sport. By his involvement. To get Hafthor and Brian would be that again, if they did fall in love with the sport. And as the sport is growing, the money's getting better in the sport. It's attracting these guys, and also people, I think, are realizing the longevity of it. They spend their career as a world's strongest man or powerlifter, and then they realize they're broken and no longer competitive. They're all going, hang on, what? I can arm wrestle till I'm 60?
Yeah. What I've been enjoying seeing throughout all of this, extra popularity that's starting to come to arm wrestling is WAF is just...
Yeah, the commercial side is winning.
He tried to kick up a stink recently, saying, what was it? He made they made a post about not letting officials
go to
King of the Table, and it's just like, at least they're not stopping athletes. They're not stopping athletes anymore, and we're not getting weird bans for attending events.
Thank goodness.
But WAF is diluted. Who's in it now? Ukraine.
Well, it's
Kazakhstan.
They're still killer nations. It's still an incredibly hard tournament to win, but it just doesn't have the best guys anymore.
Not anymore. When you've got no Georgia, no Russia.
Yeah, and also a lot of the countries that are still there, their best guy has jumped ship because there's money on the commercial side.
Yeah, exactly.
So
more than the government subsidies that there are.
Yeah. So like winning a WAF world title is an amazing achievement, but it's
absolutely.
And you can still say, but I always think that whenever someone, like everyone, I'm not a world title under any organization, so I haven't faced this problem yet. But I think everyone should say, I'm a 28-time WAF world champion, or when people just say, I'm the world champion, you're like, well, you're not. You know what? Like Sanders, no offense, Sanders is not the 105 kilo world champion.
The 110.
110. He's not the 110 kilo world champion.
He currently is, but
no, he's not. Prudnik and Devon and
those guys. It's in that federation.
That's what I mean. But like,
WAF world
if we're
champion.
just talking universal world champion, who's the world's best? It's not Sanders.
Well, we have that in kickboxing, right? You've got A1 kickboxing, and then you've got other kickboxing leagues and boxing leagues, and you've got Golden Gloves, and you've got all these other. Exactly. It's like you're the world champion in that particular league doesn't make you not a world champion. It's just
I just think you need to put that letters before.
He is also Zloty. Sanders is also a Zloty world champion.
Yeah, and I'm not. This is not a pick on Sanders.
No, not at all. Like he's absolutely world class, and I think he's going to thump Matt Mask.
I think Sanders is roughly. I'd guess he's top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I'm interested about the match with Matt Mask. He, Sanders did recently just get COVID, so I'm going to be very interested to see how he recovers. Hopefully, very, very well. But Matt Mask, I know I'm not a huge fan of him, but he is looking in shape.
Hey, Ryan's Exposed Cable, another $5 super chat. Good luck with the baby making. We are trying also. My girl, the Flow app. The Flow app. I think we have the Flow app. Lachlan, when will you beat TZ? What's the roadmap?
What's the roadmap?
That's a killer super chat right there. You take the prize for super chat of the day so far.
I don't know what to do with that. That's such a confuse because I'm still in baby making, and then I'm hang on, beat Toddzilla now.
Well, if Toddzilla was your must beat him, otherwise your family's murdered and no one else is allowed to know about it, what shape are you going to come at him in? And you've got 3 years to prepare.
Top roll.
You just top rolling him?
Top roll. Out top, because Toddzilla is a top roller. I don't care what you say. Look at it. We just consider it. We look at the way he pulls and he goes, he's just being Toddzilla, but it's a fucking top roll.
Todd roll. Devin versus Gabby after Prudnik beats him from Josh Parker.
Just a low-key dig. Sorry, but that's pretty funny.
What else we got? I think we got another. Did we get another one? No, that's it. We just scroll back up and go through.
What else? We got one from Sarah further down.
There's a few here we missed. Performance enhancing pancakes says, "Hey, don't talk crap about Natty King, Mike O'Tran. He just works harder than everyone else. Well, he's all in, isn't he? He's all in on that story.
He's all in. He certainly does work hard.
That's right.
Optimum protein to carbohydrate ratio.
From Dina, this one for you. I'm not even going to read it. It's all yours, Logan.
Specifically for arm wrestling, it doesn't change, man. Like the chemicals and whatever. Like your chemical makeup doesn't change because you're an arm wrestler. You still need to build muscle the same way, so your protein levels still need to be approximately 2 grams per kilo of body weight. And that's considered pretty low.
I want to ask some random bro sciencey food questions / training questions / get fat, not get fat questions. I watched Eddie Hall face off with a competitive eater, a woman, the other day. It was 10,000 calories. They had to race to eat 10,000 calories. And Eddie got through 2,000 by the time she'd done 10. She was like 65 kilos. And she does that regularly as part of her training. Where the hell do those calories go on a woman that is not overweight? Like how does
they're not being absorbed?
She's just shitting it out.
Like if she's eating a kilo of spaghetti, I promise you, she's got spaghetti lengths coming out of her ass this long.
Okay. Because I'm like, it didn't make sense. I'm like, what the?
Competitive eaters are different, but anyway, carbohydrates. Look, it all depends on you as an individual. It has nothing to do with arm wrestling. I know when I'm eating 400 to 500 to 800 grams of carbs per day, I feel tired, but I feel like a beast in the gym. Protein, I stick. For me, I'm 110, 112 kilos, and I'm like probably getting 250 a day. Is it someone about Pablo further up?
You want a Pablo question?
Yeah, there was one further up. Yeah. Pablo Durban.
You had a good match with him.
No, I did. You
lost it.
Yeah, what was that? No, can't find it. Anyway, it was a question about Pablo Durban. He recently benched 230 kilos. And now he's gone back to arm wrestling. But the dude's a beast.
Let's pick a random question here from Gregor's Knutson. That's a good name. Thank you, Gregors Knudsen. When do you...
Knudsen.
South African or something.
No, that's
Knudsen?
No, that's like Norwegian. It's like Icelandic. It's
Okay,
Norse.
When do you know you're entering the junk volume territory? And should quit during table practice.
You still do.
I'm still in South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa. Yeah.
When do you know? Well, table time. When do you quit table time? Like a lot of people early on in their arm wrestling journey, they are too ego driven in their table time, and they trash their elbows. And they walk away with their arm in a sling. They go and eat an entire packet of ibuprofen because they can't drive home. Don't do that to yourself. Learn to look. Devon is a great example. Go and watch Devon pull, and yes, he's conditioned, but watch the way he'll pull. He will give away center. He will point his forearm towards the direction of his own pin pad, and he'll simply drag, pronate, cup, rise, and keep it off his elbow. You're not seeing Devon fight for center. So that method is a great way to protect yourself from ever getting to that point where you're trashed and you're feeling like junk. So be okay with people pinning you. If everyone else is still actively using side pressure and you're worn down in that junk phase, just turn and face, arm wrestle with the drag and pronate. Your hand will get long-term benefit from that. You won't go home sore, and you can do this every day. No worries at all. That's my suggestion. So you don't need to call it quits at all. You just arm wrestle sensibly and don't hurt yourself. You agree?
Yeah.
Easy.
Entirely. Lachlan versus Pork Chop. Yeah, look, that's an interesting match. I think I would probably beat him quite comfortably, but he's a powerhouse. He's quite short. And like he's like 260 and 5'9" or something.
Yeah, only 5'9".
He's a tank.
I always assumed he was the same height as you, like visually.
Yeah,
but he's not. He's short.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm 5'9". I'm 6'1". Yeah, I think that probably wraps us up. To be honest, there was another one.
You're wrapping us up, Lachlan.
Oh, I haven't seen any more coming in.
There's got to be some good ones in there. There's heaps of them in here. Let me scroll.
Michael is drunk.
Michael is drunk. Is in Michael Todd?
Drunk on what? Or you think Michael Chen?
Oh, okay, Michael Chen. Yeah, fair enough. What's that? Good to see you. Hello from Moscow.
Sorry.
Lachlan and Paul Lynn versus Ryan and Brandon Allen. Fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
We're down for anything, man.
Yeah.
Can you clap with one hand, Lachlan? In the camera. We can hear it. Ready? I kicked your ass with that.
Yeah, you got long fingers. Look at my fucking hand, man.
I crush you with a single hand clap off. You can't even make a sound. That's so sad. Ready?
Can someone take a soundbite of that?
That doesn't sound good, does it?
I can click like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, I agree. Arm wrestlers can click real loud.
Yeah.
Real loud. I did that while we were with my wife the other night. She was like, "Can you click?" She challenged me to click, and I'm like, "You don't want to challenge me to click."
You know what's fun when you get challenged to a flick off, and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna flick your soul."
You're not gonna realize, a temple flick off. Ah,
just between the eyes. Just boom.
Oh, funny. Do you follow our diet, Lachlan, or you just eat whatever?
Oh, I follow some guidelines, I guess. Like we're actually talking about this the other day. When you're eating a steak dinner, what's the first thing you eat?
Steak.
Yeah,
I like the steak. Whilst it's
the way I was raised, you eat the most expensive thing on the plate first.
Yeah.
Look, I don't eat vegetables. I eat a lot of fruit, eat a lot of meat, and a lot of carbs.
Yeah.
And I poo just fine.
There you go. English Professor Vitali. When will East versus West and King of the Table monopolize arm wrestling events? WAF banning Russians need to stop. They're killing this sport. What do you think about that?
I don't. WF has banned Russians, but they're also banned in the Olympics. And they're not.
It's been politicized.
I mean, Vitali was just in King of the Table, but the other thing to consider there is they're actually having trouble getting out of the country. with everything that's going on there. I do believe conscription is starting to
In
rear its head.
Ukraine,
Yeah, either way,
both.
it's
I don't know.
becoming difficult for Russians to actually leave the country. So I don't think it's a matter of like Vitaly was in King of the Table, not like
In respect to the sport side of it, East vs West, King of the Table, monopolizing arm wrestling. I don't think you'll see it monopolize. What's happened in the last 2 years has been the evolution of the contract side of the sport. If we go back to 2020, when the WAL was the prominent league as well as the PAL, both of those leagues had extended or long-term contracts for their athletes. They were all under multi-year contracts. Michael Todd, Devon Larratt, I believe, were under 5-year contracts. 2018.
Oh, they were on 7-year contracts. It was outrageous.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And I remember that drama because and that was a lot of the reason why we didn't get to see a lot of the best matches. When COVID came and everything broke down, it was a blessing in disguise that it is now it's adjusted the sport to the point where we now have single event contracts, and no one will go back to a long term contract unless it is huge money, because the athletes have proven now in this ecosystem, and East West West and King of the Table have allowed it to be possible. That single event based contracts are perfectly fine, and individual brands from the athletes have now become a very feasible method of creating an income. There are a lot of athletes now in the sport of arm wrestling who draw a substantial income from their own brand via social media. And like, look at Prudnik exploding in social media in the last 2 weeks. He is a perfect example of striking while the iron is hot. He's got this match on Devon, and he is literally in the space of 3 weeks become monetized and making decent money.
Yeah, Prudnik's funny. He's so quiet in real life.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He's cool, but he's real quiet in real life. Like in a group of people, he's quiet, sets himself aside, not really interested.
He's got calculated trash talk.
Oh, yeah.
It's very good. It's very good. So in terms of the East vs West King of the Table monopolize or monopoly of the sport, I don't think that they'll get there. I don't think they're trying to get there. They've got a great thing going. I think where we will see the sport expand is we're going to see more athletes becoming worth more in their own entities across all social media. There's real money there. And then what that does to the events, I can't be certain, but I expect it to become even less franchised. I expect it to become. I expect you'll have your King of the Table events, but you'll see matches like Sabin Badalescu is going to call out someone and it'll do it on a beach, and that will actually be viable. Like I don't know. I don't think we're going down the path where we'll see long-term contracts ever pop up again. That's for sure.
It's an interesting one.
What do we got?
Ryan Locke, do you think the level of arm wrestling in Australia would benefit from local clubs implementing some sort of structure, lessons/classes like the Kazakhstans, rather than just turning up to ball casually? Yes, however, we don't have any dedicated coaches that aren't also pullers. And I believe this does pose a bit of a issue in implementing that, because we all have having a coach. They have all dedicated coaches.
Well,
that's all they do. Right?
And the key difference is they are government funded because they are heavily linked to WAF, and that is the strength of WAF. Is that they actually get their government pays them enough that it's a viable job for them.
Yeah, and they're analysing arm wrestling in a way that a lot of us aren't. So when I analyse arm wrestling, it's for my own interests, my own uses and purposes, where having someone that's just looking at it across the board, I think, is what is necessary. I do believe that, like I've recently implemented some more structure in my table time on the Wednesday nights, where I'll just do one move the whole night. Even though I get fatigued or whatever, I'm still always just trying to do that one thing. So, and then I'll do that for a couple of weeks, and then that'll slightly change to kind of add on or improve upon what I was doing the week before. So breaking things down in a very simplistic manner, I think, is a good way to start to all of its kind of smaller constituents.
It's very interesting. I've always watched very closely Australia's development on on our systemic sort of level, I would love to see Australia be in 5 to 10 years a recognised strong nation amongst arm wrestling nations. I'd love it, and I recognise for that we need a whole series of chapters to be efficient. We need the grassroots to. We need a place for arm wrestlers to enjoy the sport at a grassroots level. I personally think that the sport lacks a lot of that because at the moment everyone has to. When you're new, you train with your club. You don't get the taste of competition unless you're traveling interstate and things like that. I think that could be improved. Then we get to that kind of like, all right, I'm a state level puller now and all that stuff. I think Australia has a great system there at the state, the low national level. There's a clear ladder, there's a clear pathway, there's enough events, and there's enough motivation for that bank of guys. Then there's the okay, I don't want to just face. I don't want to just aim for an Australian title anymore. I want to be an international pro, and that's where I think people like ourselves we carry a lot of that responsibility. We drag a lot of people up, and that's where we're trying to do things like the strength system arm wrestling. We're trying to build a center for excellence in terms of the way that we go about it. But we are currently pushing into this ourselves. We're learning how to be an elite arm wrestler still. We're not yet there. So everything we learn, we will pass down, and we'll try to maximize that.
And I'm curious to know how many people like in Australia are actually striving the way that we do, because we cop some criticism, and it's just like, hang on, like do what we do and focus on it the way that we do, and spend come up to Brisbane. We're more than welcome. Like I've got a spare room, you come to my house, and I will show you what it takes to strive the way that we have to strive. And it's a rarity, unfortunately. And our progress gets blamed on a lot of other things, and it's just like no, it's fucking hard work, man. And it's consistent hard work. And when I leave the gym, I'm still arm wrestling, right? Like it doesn't turn off.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So you've got to get to that level of obsession to really make it, because we just don't have the Kazakh team behind us. We don't have the likes of Saplenkov to learn and train from. Like we really have to push harder than a lot of other countries to be able to reach that level.
Yeah, we have to travel to get that direct first-hand experience.
And it's a big deal. We go over there, we get our ass kicked. We have before. We got absolutely munched, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't have flown over. It's like, and then do what? Like, what's the alternative? Fucking clown.
Hey, Ian's got an interesting question. Guys, we are going to wrap this one up soon. We do need to get going shortly. So, final call for drinks, so to speak. If you've got any juicy questions, hit us up now. Ian E says, I got one for you. Who's the lightest guy in arm wrestling right now that you wouldn't have yourself as favorite against? This goes for either of you.
The lightest guy?
The lightest guy that you think you wouldn't be favorite against in your own head. People are going to want me to say Coach Ray, but no, I think I can beat Coach Ray now. 86 kilos again, and I'm 105. Oh man, that's a. What are you saying?
It's super pretentious. Hunger vibe. Fuck that. He's lighter than me.
Yeah, he's definitely lighter than me. Yeah. Who do I say that I'm not favorite? Look, not favorite in the outcome or the like. There's plenty of people that on paper would be favorite against me. Like someone like Bojidar would be favorite against me on paper, for example. But I think I could be. We got another super chat from JD Killing 86 super chat, $2 Canadian. Anyone else doing the rice bucket thing now? I loved it.
Yeah, I do it when I'm just looking after my kids.
I hate it.
I
didn't like it at all. It made a mess, and I was like, there's rice powder going everywhere, and
I got it in my bucket.
I don't like it. I feel like there's way better things you can do with your hand.
Oh yeah, it's just I do it while I'm idle doing something else.
The hand of Devon with 70 Zar says, I now call my pen little prudent.
Call you. I mean, some kind of looks like a little penis. Prudniks. So yeah, I mean, probably good naming. Does it have a good? We're stopping.
All right, guys. There's one from Grip and Rip. Carl House.
Oh yeah.
Let's answer that one.
Kyle Howarth, good to see you from WA, man. He says, good chat, guys. Are you still looking at doing events in the new year, Ryan? Yeah, man. I don't have certainty on it, but yes, very much. I have a potentially very busy schedule for 2023 with King of the Table and East West West. That said, I definitely want to add to that a couple of things, some of which will be bringing internationals here. And yeah, if I do bring internationals here, you can bet there will be a local contingent around it as well.
Go like and subscribe to Kyle Howarth.
Kyle Howarth will be in the USA at the Monster Factory event. He'll be supporting Bob Brown.
Bob Brown.
So can't wait.
That's going to be sick. It's coming up soon too. What's this one? This one's interesting. I love these little bits of advice from Brandon. Lachlan, you need more tendon strength over the back of your hand and last digits. Your wrenching looks dog shit compared to Ryan's not so long ago. All the best.
Wrenching.
Bastard. Good night. Is that Vincent? That's Vincent. Go off your dog. I love Vincent. He's a good mate. Also, extension. Also, I think Ryan gets a 160 bench in a jiffy. Good night and see you. Vincent, why you're sucking the wrong dude.
There's a couple of milestones for me on the bench that I want. 140 is the first one because that was the number that Delusional Ryan Bowen was mocked over 140. So I'm very much looking forward to just pressing 140 nice and clean for everyone. But I'm genuinely excited about benching over the next 6 to 12 months and just seeing what that does to me on the table. Because it just feels like the gains are so easy right now because they're all new. So excited.
Yeah, big time.
All right.
I gotta go.
Guys, Lachlan's got to head. I got to head as well. Thank you for joining us this morning, this evening, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate it. Yeah, we will do it again soon. We might be able to do this week. We never know.
Yeah, I mean, my schedule's favouring it right now. So
yeah, it's working out, and we enjoy hanging out with you guys too. So thank you guys for being in here. We'll end this one, and we'll see you next time.